Hi, my name is Henry. So today, let me introduce you to this awesome tool I found. It's developed by the same team, Vercel, that developed Next.js as well. Okay, it's called V0.dev. This is a little bit similar to ChatGPT. Okay, you interact with it and it generates AI with you. It's actually more similar to Midjourney. Okay, it generates UI for you and also the codes. It's called V0 because it gives you a very good start when you want to build some UI. So let me show you. So these are just the examples they've given. So believe it or not, these are all generated by AI. You just ask a question like ChatGPT and then it generates the UI. So let's look at this particular example. Okay. By the right, you will see the iterations this person went through to get to this design. And you see it's up to 24 iterations. You can see how it all started from the first one right here, V0. The AI was told to do just a very simple thing. Make this a retweet icon, like a refresh thing. It generated this. And then continuously, and gradually, you keep giving it some hints to improve the UI. And then at the end, we got here something that is very fine and usable. You can see that it makes a lot of sense. You can just highlight a particular section and then ask the AI to improve it even more. Similar to what you might do with ChatGPT, but now a little bit more refined and visual as well. Up here, you're going to see the code. You see the React code and also the HTML code. And even how you can add it with MPX, which is very, very fine. So the library is called V0. So you can use MPX to execute it and then quickly pull in this code. I actually prefer to use the HTML and then I can now convert it to React code myself, okay? Because I plan to use this to generate content, okay? If there is a way to generate UI faster, then this is it. Now, let me show you another example. Here is also another example that was generated by the same AI, and it took 10 iterations to get to this final design. So if you are building like an audio streaming platform, this could be a view you might want. You just copy the code and then you can use it in your code very, very fast. And then this is another one. You can even generate tables with it. Tables with menus as well. So this can be very, very helpful if you are trying to scaffold stuff, or if you are still in the design phase and you are doing several iterations to get to a particular design you might like. This is very huge. You can also share it. You can report the result if you want, or even star it, and you can create new ones as well. I'm still in the waiting list, but I will get to try it out. Now this is another design here that was also generated through the same AI. It took about 23 iterations to get to this point. So this is something you might want. And it's called V0 for a reason, from what I think, because it's just a place to start. It's not going to do everything for you. So it's just very simple way to start your UI. And then you can then go ahead to add other things that you want. And then this is another one, very familiar login page that took about 10 iterations to get here. So this is what you might want to spend some time generating. And usually when you get to this point, I would have gone through the UX and UI phase and designed this in Figma before I start writing the codes. Okay, so if there is a way this can be integrated into Figma, that would be a very huge benefit. Now the question is, what are they using in this case? I've already shown you that you have the React option and you have the HTML option. And if you look at the classes, you'll see that they're using Tailwind, which is my favorite. I've been using Tailwind for years. And I'm glad that's what they're using here. So you can easily copy any section of this code, put it into your React or Next.js app, or even Vue.js, wherever you are, and you'll be good and you can use it. What are the recommendations for improvement? Well, I wish this can be introduced into Figma, maybe built as a plugin on Figma so that you can easily use it in Figma. You generate your UI and then it will be converted to code. I'm sure there are things like that that already exist right now, but if you can integrate this AI into it, that will make a lot of sense. Then two, we already have Tailwind. I'm not sure if you need something more, but the way I see it, some people might want a bootstrap version and maybe custom CSS built versions. Okay, that might also be very helpful. And I'm very curious, I'm still in the waiting list. I'm thinking this might come with a price tag. What is it going to look like? Are you going to pay for it like $10, $20 per month? And it will really depend on how useful it's going to be, because ChatGPT 4 is already a paid service. If you're using Copilot like I do, it's already a paid service. If this is introduced and it's also helpful, it might also be a paid service. So I'm not sure if some part of it will be free or what. I guess we have to wait and see. Then, how optimistic am I about this? I actually like it. The way I see it, this will be this is just the starting point for features like this, right? And the way I see it is going to do more help than damage. However, depends on how expensive they might be, of course. Now, will this take away developers' jobs? That is yet to be seen, because let's say you're a company that needs a login page. You're probably going to generate your UI with this, but it still needs to be tested. So someone still has to be there to test it. And if there are errors, it might be hard to find out where the error is coming from, especially when the error is functional and not just visual. Okay, here you can just select a section and ask it more questions. But if you're getting an error, it might find it harder to fix that error, especially when the error is showing up on the console, or some edge cases that might appear. Might be hard to fix. But I'm very interested in this, and I have my fingers crossed to see how it goes.